Last night's Clippers-Bucks game should have been a matchup of two of the NBA's biggest stars on a national stage on ESPN, but instead, it was just the Greek Freak posting some historical numbers last night. Bucks with the win over the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. The Clippers claim that Kawhi is too injured to play back-to-back games. And because of that, they'll avoid the league's resting policy, and that means a hefty fine. Of course, the Raptors did this with Kawhi last year. He played 60 games during the regular season. Toronto ended up winning the title. Kawhi's absence last night underscores just how serious a problem this is for the NBA and how little they can do. I don't know what they can do with this right now. Keep in mind, the collective bargaining agreement runs through the 2023-24 season. They're not changing anything anytime soon, because the only time you're going to get change is when it affects the bottom line. These TV networks, they ponied up. They expect the stars to play. There is no load management, clause here. And I don't know if there is a solution for the NBA. We can say the season's too long, but even if I said, let's reduce it to 70 games, you're still going to have load management here. And I'm always curious, why just the stars for load management? The guys who are the sixth men or guys who play, Patrick Beverley, does he need load management? Kawhi does. The stars do. What about the other players, the role players? They don't need load management. But, best thing I guess fans can do is let the NBA know that it's unacceptable on social media and with your wallets. I wouldn't buy tickets in advance. It would definitely be day of. Now, I might not get what I want, but at least I'm not going to go there and all of a sudden I show up and go, wait a minute here. This isn't what I paid for. But, maybe we create some change here. I'm not sure. The fact that it happened to ESPN is the reason why people are talking about it today. Because, TBS, they don't have a 24-hour sports channel or radio. And if it happened on TBS last night, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But ESPN, it happened to them. Therefore, oh my gosh. Now your radio shows, your TV shows, and now you're talking about load management. And maybe that's a good thing. But I don't know if it changes anything. If I'm Doc Rivers, I'm looking at the long haul here. And if you got Kawhi Leonard, I'm sure that was the discussion when you signed Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. It's proven to work. The Spurs did this without calling it load management. David Stern tried to prevent this by fining the Spurs $250,000 for resting their stars in one game. So you just make up injuries. If I have a stomach issue, if I have an abdominal strain, what are you going to do? You're going to bring in your doctor? You're going to examine me? I got a hamstring. The NBA has empowered their star players. This wouldn't happen in the NFL. Season's too short. When's the last time you heard Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, Drew Brees go, load management, I'm going to sit this one out. Season's too short, 16 games. Every game means something here. I don't know if you have this in the NHL. Baseball, how, Mike Trout's battled injuries. Does Mike Trout have load management there? I would think in baseball, you got 162 games. But travel is better. The way the players are treated, the conditioning, it's better. But if you're the NBA and you know that some of these stars aren't going to play on back-to-back nights and they're national games, nationally televised games. So Portland is Kawhi playing tonight, but he didn't play last night. The fact that he didn't play a home game, because I said, look, if you're going to do load management, do your load management at home. That way, you're at least saying to your home base, your fan base, hey, this is for the playoffs. This is a bigger picture here. I'd hate to see it when you go on the road, and maybe this is the only time you get to see some of these star players. I was very fortunate growing up in Cincinnati. Now, if you had load management, I'm sure you had a lot of guys who wouldn't have played in Cincinnati against the Royals. But I got to see, the Knicks when they came to town, Pete Maravich when he came to town, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West when he came to town. The Bullets, when they came, everybody played back then. But it's different. This is a business. And I look back on two careers here, and I wonder if load management could have changed Larry Bird's career. That bad back, Steve Nash. Steve Nash, when he wasn't on the floor, was stretching his back. And I wonder if load management would have helped those two. And if I said to you, hey, Do you want to see Larry Bird for a few more years if you're a Celtics fan? Yes. Steve Nash, a couple more years if you're a Suns fan. Yes. I understand it. Kawhi Leonard is saying, look, I want to be my best when I'm supposed to be my best. Jalen Rose came out yesterday, former NBA player, works for the mothership, and he said, hey, the media created load management because the media says, hey, how many championships do you win? Now, I don't think that every player is taking a night off because he's thinking about winning a championship. How many of those players? LeBron, okay, but how many of those players do you go, hey, load management because I want to win a championship here? Not all these star players. Damian Lillard's a wonderful player. I don't think he's going load management because I got to be ready for the NBA Finals. I mean, I'm just saying here. Right, let's put it in context and be real about load management. But you got the stars who are doing it. And there's nothing that the NBA can do because they're not fining you. David Stern wouldn't allow this. But Adam Silver is a different commissioner. And he has empowered these players, and they're taking advantage of it. But keep this in mind. The reason why this is being discussed today is because ESPN was the victim of load management last night. If this was a TNT game, it would not be discussed. If this was NBA TV, this would not be discussed. Now, it doesn't mean it shouldn't be discussed, but, this kind of amplifies the story a little bit here. And it's something that you'll keep an eye on. I don't know how many players are going to be part of the load management. How many players, star players, is LeBron, who was injured last year, LeBron can't keep this pace up. I've said, for the last couple of years, James Harden can't keep the pace up, and then he gets to the postseason and he fizzles. There's certain players that I would say, yes, with what we ask you to do, we need to modify. We need to moderate your minutes, your games. I understand that. I would just hope that these teams who have load management players, that the load management takes place at your place, not on the road.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.